Want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. Since we've been doing a lot on Islam lately, let me just, there's a big question, there's a big mystery about where all the money is coming from for all of the terrorist activities springing up all over the world right now. We have just ended the siege of a shopping mall in Kenya. A lot of people were killed. A lot of people were injured. There is an ongoing hostage crisis in the Philippines. Between 100 and 200 armed men stormed the city of Zimboanga over almost 3 weeks ago and drove out 100,000 refugees, have killed vast numbers of people. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, in Peshawar, a church was suicide bombed and at least 86 people were killed. And in Nigeria, thousands and thousands of miles away, the probable figure is around 7,000 miles away. It could be as high as 10,000 miles away. People are being killed on a regular basis by a group called Boko Haram. And none of these groups ever seem to run out of ammunition. None of these groups ever seem to run out of money for bombs. We hear people begging us for arms and money for the so-called Syrian rebels all the time. And yet, the rest of these crazies killing people left and right never seem to run out of ammunition. Why? Where does their money come from? That's something that it seems very difficult to determine. Well, a report has come out from the European Parliament. It is called The Involvement of Salafism Wahhabis in the Support and Supply of Arms to Rebel Groups Around the World. And it tells us where the money comes from, where the money comes from for the violence in Somalia, where the money comes from for the violence in Mali, where the money comes from even to bomb places like Spain and sometimes the United States and sometimes the United Kingdom. It comes from the same people who establish extremist schools in places like Alexandria, Virginia, that according to one leading Muslim, well, actually the head of the we have to consult or note, the Free Muslim Coalition Against Terrorism, which is run by an Egyptian Muslim. Is he? Wait a minute. He's Palestinian. Oh, we're going to have to scrap this whole thing. No, we're going to keep going. It's run by, at any rate, Kamal Nawash, and he is a good Muslim. And he says that the Saudi Islamic Academy, located in Alexandria, Virginia, is teaching an extreme version of Islam to its first-grade students. But that's not an isolated case. According to Sheikh Mohammed Hisham Kabani, the chairman of the Islamic Supreme Council of America, who is, guess what, a Muslim, 80% of the mosques in America and almost all of the Islamic religious schools, of which there are many, are teaching an extremist form of Islam. And where is that extremist form of Islam coming from? It's called Wahhabism. It is coming from Saudi Arabia, and that is where the money is coming from. But if the Saudi royal family knows that the extremists, like Al-Qaeda, for example, want to get rid of the Saudi royal family, how in the world does the money... And the Saudis are our allies. How in the world does the allies get to all of these? How in the world does the money, get to all of these extremist groups? Turns out to be simple. There are vast Islamic charities functioning in countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar. They are funneling vast amounts of money to foreign communities outside of Saudi Arabia. 10 years ago or more, members of Al-Qaeda and of one other extremist group took positions of high authority in all of the major charities, and on a regular basis siphoned between 15 and 60% of the charity's money to what we would call extremist activities, what we would call jihadist activities, killing people in churches, killing people in shopping malls, killing people in schools, killing infidels, killing even fellow Muslims who didn't seem to share the same kind of extremist fervor, and meanwhile educating kids in this kind of violent extremist Islam right here in the United States from first grade on. That's how they've done it. That's according to the European Parliament report, the involvement of Salafism Wahhabis in the support and supply of arms to rebel groups around the world, which you can get online and is an astonishing document. No, the guys with the bullets and the bombs are never going to run out of money. They have over $10 billion from the Saudis and God knows how much from the Qataris, the folks who bring us my favorite international television station, Al Jazeera. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future, that it's your job and my job to make now for the part where I show my radical incompetence by trying to find the off button. There it is!